Hello, everyone. Good evening. We are live. It's another edition of Tech Klinik. And without further ado, we are going to jump into the session for today. Today, we'll be talking with Divine Apemaa. She's going to be talking to us about the simplified introduction to data analytics. If you've been following Tech Klinik, you agree with me that Tech Klinik is one learning webinar that you need to be in because of the demands of tech in recent times. All right, I'm going to be bringing forward our guests so we can just dive right into the session. Hello, Divine. Good evening. Hello, can you hear me? Could be network problem. Hello, Divine. Are you there?
Please check your chat box. I dropped a message just now.
Hello, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I dropped a message on the chat box. Just give me 5 minutes, please, to settle in. I just entered my
Oh,
office.
oh. All right, all right. All right, so our guest will be back to join us, but before she gets set, I'd like for you to drop us your name in the comment section if you've joined the session. We'd like you to tell us where you are connecting from and how it has been for you from the last two episodes of Tech Clinic we've had. We've had Zipeta Nabwala from Kenya in our first edition who talked to us about user interface and user experience. We've also had Ofon Basi, an illustrator, who talked to us on Sunday about illustrations and how illustrations can come in handy in tech. Like I said earlier, today we'll be talking about data analytics. If you agree with me that data analysis is one field that is booming right now in the tech industry. If you are conversant with remote job locations, LinkedIn, you tend to discover that the works that are available or the vacancies that are available usually revolve around data analysis or some of these tech roles. So Tech Clinic is actually the place for you to be. Today, we're really going to be learning about introduction to data analysis, the basics you need to know about data analysis, the tools you would need to function effectively in data analysis, and a lot more, and a lot more. All right, let's see if our guest is ready so she can just come up. Hello, Divine. Hi, Divine. Can you hear me? Okay, I think this could be network issues. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello. We're so sorry about the technical glitch we are encountering at the moment. We are trying to connect with our guest, and she's trying to connect with us as well. Please hold on and stay with us. Hi, Divine. Can you hear me now? Oops, I lost her again. All right, so let me take a little recap of what often taught us on Sunday about illustrations. Illustrations are basically like animations, like we know, because on Sunday when she was during her session, she made reference to cartoons, how you can use illustrations. She also made reference to road signs. Those are illustrations. And illustrations are very relevant in content creating as well. It's also an aspect of tech in that you don't always have to use humans, you don't always have to use live videos. You could use illustrations, you could use symbols, you could use animations to represent stuff. And I think if you missed that session and you are quite interested in illustration, I would advise you watch the replay of the video. But aside that, she mentioned some tools that you can start up with for illustrations. And she also mentioned quite a lot of sites and persons you can reach out to if illustration is something you want to learn. Let's check, let's see if we can connect with our guest now so we can start the session already.
Hello, good evening. Please, I'm
Yeah,
up. I'm sorry.
it-
Apologize.
you're
My network is
welcome.
just messing up.
It's fine, we understand. You're welcome. I believe we can start now.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Yeah, is it possible for us to get your like to see you on camera? If is it possible, so at least we can relate better, and our audience can.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm at the office at the moment because I had to do one or two things in the office, but I'll turn it off and go off at some point.
Okay. All right. Well, we could just proceed. We could just proceed if that is not obtainable at the moment. We could proceed. At least I can hear you
Mm,
loud.
okay, no issues. Can you see me?
Yes,
I don't know
clearly.
how to just switch the camera.
Yeah, I can see, but I cannot see your face.
I'm trying to see if I can switch it.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. We're trying to connect with our guests. Please bear with us. Hi.
can you people hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we'll just quickly start. I don't know how to turn on the camera to switch it to front stage.
All
I
right, that's fine. That could be done from the setting, I think, but we can just proceed. Okay, so first of all, we like to let you introduce yourself to us in the way you like to be introduced.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so my name is Divine, Apemaa Divine Iganavari. I'm a geospatial data scientist. I'm also a security expert. I'm an intelligence of like security intelligence actually expert too. Well, I'm the founder of Akisis. You can say CEO. I don't like that CEO. It's like he has a way of
Yeah.
making me feel too serious.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm the founder of Akisis and co-founder of Bipoku. I think Bipoku, you've heard of Bipoku, it's a tech training and consulting firm. Well, basically, I am specialized in geospatial data sciences. But recently, I decided to focus on data analysis because it's something I began to fall in love with. So, yeah, I think that
All right.
was.
We're talking about falling in love. Well, our topic is simplified introduction to data analysis. So this is where you come in, and this is where you take the floor. So we are ready to learn. Please, you can go ahead. Oops, we lost her again. Um, Network is a bit terrible. Okay, we lost our guest. It's network issues. But before she comes up again, and if you're watching us and you have questions about data analytics that you would like her to clear the air on, you can just send in your questions. We can keep them ready even before she comes up and even before we get to the question and answer segment. Like I said, we are talking about a simplified introduction to data analysis by Divine, and this is our edition 3 of our 2024 Tech Klinik series. Please stay with us. We are trying to connect with our guest. Uh, as of now, we've not been able to connect with our guest yet. She seems to be having network glitches from her end. But while we wait for her, we could talk about other things like what we started talking about midway into our last session on Sunday. Why tech actually? Why tech? Why are we talking about tech? Why is everyone talking about tech? Like I said the last time, tech seems to be the future of work. Tech seems to be um, the new way to doing things. Everybody's talking about tech, such that if you're not even talking about tech, you seem to be left out in the dark. As a community, we encourage women, we encourage tech. And I hope you know that you don't have to be all techy to be in tech. We've said that countless times, and I'm sure you're aware of that. You don't really have to be coding inclined or know for you to say that you are in tech. We've had um, guests who made us understand that tech can apply in every industry. You talk about the health sector, you talk about the educational sector, you talk about businesses, tech applies, like the user interface and user experience we are talking about the other day. We saw how it applied to even people with physical disabilities, people who could not hear. Our guest the other day told us how she was able to come stuffs, visuals in this case that appeal to them and that they could learn from. Since they could not hear, she came up with things that they could see visually and learn from. Have to be so deep into tech to say you're a tech person. Tech should apply. Technology is the way of the world now. So tech should apply in all cases. Now, even the data analysis we want to talk about today applies in all areas. I could remember as an undergraduate student after our research projects, some of us that went to do our field work, our lab works, we had some data that we could not analyze by ourselves. We had to look out analysis. And this is where we now begin to see that tech applies in every sector. You will always have data. You always need to analyze data, be it in the hospital, be it in your school work, wherever. Data will always be available as long as people are working their input, their output. Data will always be recorded, and then someone needs to analyze it. Other areas of tech that you could go into can be content creating, content designing, like illustration that we talked about on Sunday too. There's so many aspects of tech, and I'm charging whoever is listening today to find a part of tech that appeals to you. Find a portion of tech that appeals to you, that matches with your vision, that matches with your interest. You see, because interest also matters in whatever we want to do. You find out that you get bored or you get tired of things you are not interested in or things you are not passionate about. So that is why interest matters a lot. So this is kind of a charge to anyone who is listening to this webinar right now. Just look around, find out a portion of tech that appeals to you or that you are passionate about. And the funny thing is, sometimes you may not even find it directly. Let me bring in Orphan's story. Orphan was our guest on Sunday. She let us know that as a child, she loved cartoons, she loved animations, she loved illustrations, and that's how she was able to find her path in tech. So it could be something that appeals to you in another sense, and then you now see how to link it to tech. It could be a passion or something you are passionate about or an area you are seeking to make impact in. And then you find a way of linking it to tech. You may ask me, why should I link it to tech? But I've answered that earlier by saying that tech is like the future of work. Whatever we are doing now is heading towards tech. You see the likes of ChatGPT. We even have Meta AI now, such that on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your WhatsApp, you can interact with a chatbot, you can interact with an artificial intelligence, and it just runs things for you. You don't even have to go to Google again. You see that even Google is gradually being replaced by AI, ChatGPT, and the rest. So this is why we should really look into tech as women who are looking to advance ourselves in our career, in our business. Even if you are a business woman, you are a business lady, please, you should be looking towards tech. I think our guest is back. Let's see. Hi, Divine. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I was saying, even as a business person, tech can come in handy for you. For example, I would explain that. You may be wondering how. If you know about Google Workspace, Google Workspace is just different applications, Google applications that you can use to run certain. You can use to do stuffs actually. We have Google Doc, Google Slide, Google Excel sheet. That's Google Sheet. So even as a business person, you find out that if you have an idea of these Google applications, you can easily use Google Sheets, or as we know it in Microsoft Word as Microsoft Excel. You can use it to do your profit, you can use it to calculate your loss, your profit, and all of that. You can use it to design your budget, you can use it to tabulate your expenditures and the rest. So even as a business person, don't think as if tech does not apply to what you are doing. It applies a lot. And even if you think it doesn't apply, be that business person with a difference. That even as you make your dresses as a fashion designer, you bake your cake as a caterer, and you do other stuffs, you retail things, you're a vendor and the rest, you still find a way of including tech into what you do. It makes you stand out actually, that you don't do things the usual way, you don't do things the normal way people would do it. You're adding spice to it, you're adding tech to it. It makes you stand out, it gives you a better feel. um if as a business owner, for example, you have an idea of content creation or graphic design, it could come in handy in your business. You discover, our guest is here, you discover, you begin to create content and all. Mm, we've lost her again. The network is really poor, but let's see if we can be able to connect with her. We have just a few minutes to the end of our session.
Last talk.
Hi, Divine.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Apologize to my network.
It's fine. It's network. We don't have a say. There's nothing we can do about it. But I hope it doesn't take off again, so we can just make use of the remaining time we have. All right. So you were about to start the introduction to the topic, and I think that was where we lost you.
Okay. So how long are we supposed to be here for, please?
We are supposed to end at 6. So we have basically less than 30 minutes, about 23 minutes to go.
That's fair. Alright.
Mm.
So thank you once again for having me. Um, Apologies. I've been very strong health wise, so so we'll see how we can go about it. And I'm in the office at the moment, so it wasn't like it's kind of clashing.
All right. You say about that.
No issues. So we're supposed to talk about introduction to data analytics, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I shared the slide with you. Do you mind sharing it?
Okay. But you can go on while I try to do that.
Alright,
You can.
alright. So I think the few minutes left is very fine for me. So I can go back to my work.
Okay.
So yeah, first of all, I want to welcome everyone to an amazing section. It's going to be short, but I will try as much as I can to do my best to deliver. Anyways, I'll start with why why data, why are we into data analytics, why are we into data science. And I don't know, is there anyone that can people talk? Unmute their mic and talk because I like interactions.
No, they can only see you on screen and then make comments.
Okay. Okay, so anyways, um we all know, I won't say we all know, but data is the new oil, right?
Yeah.
Data science is one of the most lucrative. I think if you Google the top 10 um bestseller jobs so far, you definitely see data science as one of them. So I will sound like my mentor when he books. You say data is the new oil, and in fact, but what do we now want to say? What is data? Anything is data actually. So if you want to classify, if you want to like say, you cannot have a specific definition for what data is because anything at all is data. But it's the difference is what you're using it for, the information you get from it, and whatever decision you're going supposed to make out of it. But in a layman's language, data is actually a fact. When you put them together, analyze, and then you make analysis and make inferences, right? So, yeah, that's what data is. Then we have women already that have say making name already with data. I'm so sorry. I wish I was stronger enough or in a more better place. I would have shared more insights. But I hope you can manage this. Maybe next time I'll prepare better. So,
Okay.
yeah, we've had women in tech that have done a whole lot with data. I think one of the women that inspire me in data is Hilary Masson, the founder of Fast Forward Labs. She's a health technician and she worked on cholera. I think I did my BSc in geology and mining, and then I went further to do GIS and geographic information systems um, uh, and remote sensing for my masters. But what actually drove me into data, first of all, because we are heading somewhere anyways, what actually drove me into data was my quest to enhance and become better. I actually applied for a job with NASA. I got the job and I was supposed to start like the next day. And they reached out to me and they asked me when it was time for me to start processing my paper. So they asked me if I had a programming language. Unfortunately, I didn't have any because at the time I just did remote sensing and GIS. I didn't know there was a part of GIS that had to do with coding and programming. So I told them I was very honest. I think I have a problem with honesty because I'm too honest to a fault. So I just honestly told them that I didn't have any programming language, and unfortunately I lost that NASA. Anyone that knows NASA, I think you've heard of NASA.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah, so it broke my heart.
That would have been so painful.
So they sent me a mail that I should, if I am able to get the programming language, they needed either R, SQL or Python. If I'm able to get it in 1 month, I should reapply. That my qualification and everything experience was okay. And then I passed the interview, my test was very good, but I needed that programming skill at the time. So I had to look for how to learn Python, SQL, and R in 1 month. How is that even possible? And then I started looking for scholarships. I was ready to pay, even if they pay 1 million naira, I would have paid at the time. But unfortunately, I did not see where to learn. But gracefully, I jumped on Tech for Dev. At the time, they were giving out scholarships for students. Jumped on. I saw UNICEF too was giving out scholarships for people that wanted to join data analytics. I was not interested in data. All I was interested in was give me Python and R. Let me just write back to these people and get back to NASA. I think that was 2021. And at the time, the my partner was willing to pay anything for me to learn that stuff because come on, it's NASA. I mean, and I have a master's. Imagine entering into NASA with a master's degree. It meant my pay was going to be amazing. So that was how I jumped on Tech UNICEF. But I wasn't enjoying their scholarship because they don't. There was no. It was not like a class. It's just a pre-recorded session, and it was very boring. I did that training for just 2 weeks, and I gave up. I can tell I didn't learn one thing. So eventually, I wrote out to Tech for Dev, and then they gave me a scholarship to learn data analytics. Gracefully, there was Python, there was SQL, Excel, and Power BI. But when the training started, I didn't do Python again. When the man now started the training, I now fell in love with Power BI and Excel because I don't know how the my eventually now my mentor, I don't know how he manipulated those things, but Excel and Power BI became one of my favorites. But I learned Python actually because I needed it, not because I loved it. So that was where my journey in data analytics started. And my master's degree had to be on pause because I fell in love with what we could use data to do. And it was barely a month I got into tech, into data analytics. I got a job with one of I don't know if anyone has heard of Bankley, but it's one of the biggest fintech companies in Lagos, and that was how I started falling in love with data science, and decided to start pushing further to learn more in data. So it wasn't like, okay, I woke up on sleep and said I wanted to do data science. That's never been my interest. Sorry. Can anyone hear me? I like to get feedback so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, at this point, since we are running out of time, we
Yeah.
have someone who interacted with us. She said, "Good evening, everyone. My name is Stella, and I'm joining from Abuja, Nigeria. I'm glad to be in this lecture." So she wants to know the basics of data analysis and how she can apply for it. That she's a starter and she wants to know how she can get into data analysis.
Okay. So let's quickly jump for that. So Yeah. So what is data analysis? Basically, is the process of examining, cleaning, and interpreting data to find valuable insights. So data analysis involves inspecting, cleaning, transforming, modeling data to discover insights and make data-driven decisions. Right? So you use data to make informed decisions. And the sweet thing about data is that you can use it in any any sphere. I think I was telling someone a few days ago that not pride, but I think I've gotten to the stage in data that I don't get scared of jobs, looking for jobs, because I know that I can sit down in my house and create problem and solve problem. So yeah, it's very large. It's somewhere. It's a field that works in every sector, whether real estate, security, entertainment, healthcare, fintech. It's very large. So it's something that we will never run out of jobs. Years to come, data will always be there. So the question, what was her question again? She said, how can she get into
Like
um?
the basics, yeah, of it as a
So
start.
I won't say you should just get into data, right? I think I always tell people that I mentor that why are you in data science? Like, you just don't jump into it. It's not something that, because the truth is you get tired at some point and you get bored, especially when the crunching of numbers starts. So it has to be something that you're passionate about. It has to be something that you want to do. But there are ways to get into it. Now, first off, I think when I was sharing my story earlier, the first things first is to look out for free boot camps before you pay. Yeah, look out for free boot camps. How do you look out? Go online. For instance, Akisis is organizing a free boot camp for one. I think they are doing 2 or 3 weeks. You can easily just jump on it and start it. Because the reason why I recommend free boot camp is because um, so that in case you get bored and get tired of the course, you you can easily fall back and let go of it. It's not like you go and pay and then at the end of the day you lose interest. It doesn't make sense. So that's the start. I think what was the other question, please?
Okay, that was majorly her question. How she can apply for it. She says she studied geology and mining in Essex.
Okay.
So I think it's something related to what you did, and
Yeah,
she
in my
used
DST.
data analysis so much, and she's really interested to know how she can get into data analysis.
Okay, so I would probably drop my mail so that someone, if you want to reach out to me, I can give you guidance. But the best way to start is to start by getting jumping on free boot camps,
Okay.
not just boot
Sorry, you
camps.
mentioned you mentioned a free boot camp. Can we get it more clearly?
Okay, sorry, boot camp as well.
Yeah, yeah, there was a platform you mentioned while
Okay,
you were talking about boot camp you can jump on. I
okay,
didn't quite get that.
okay. So there's a, I'll write it. I think it's on there.
Oh,
I came across it.
okay,
Let me put it on the chat box.
okay.
So they're having an upcoming boot camp. You can also check Tech for Dev, but I don't know if Tech for Dev is still on. But this was where I learned from.
Okay. Okay.
But for AQCs, I feel like you should jump on AQCs because they have trainers and it's not recorded. There are trainers on ground that you can ask questions, you can maybe get mentorship. And I think from what I heard, they are actually having a training. I think after their training, they are giving out training internship and some of if you're good, I think from their past previous um, trainings, if you're really good at what you've learned, you easily get a job with one of their sponsors and stuff. So because the problem is not just to enter data, it's to have a job. Most
Yeah.
times people just have this skill and they don't have anything to do. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah. Did I answer that?
Yes, yes, it is.
So we can go further, right? So let's look at types of data. We have quantitative and quality. I'll share the slides so that everyone can go through subsequently. We have quantitative and qualitative data. We have the numbers. Please, at every point, you can break me in if you have questions, please.
All right, sure. I'll do that.
So we have quantitative and qualitative data. This is where we get the survey responses, social media comments, and then the quantitative where we get the exam scores, app usage. There was one time when I was doing my training, one project I worked on was WhatsApp. They told us to get pull out data from a chat group in WhatsApp. So we analyzed the data of everyone there. So it was one of my favorite projects because I've never done anything like that. So those are quantitative data. So let's go into steps in data analysis. First of all, you need to, before you start any data analytic work, you need to set your clear goals. What do you want to achieve? Especially in the data field, what do you want to achieve? Even when you want to jump on a project, what do you want to achieve from that project? Do you just want to do it because every other person is doing data analysis, or because yes, something you want to achieve? Then you need to collect data. You gather relevant data that are relevant to the project you want to work on. Then, of course, the data cleaning. This is where the work is. This is where your data analytics skills comes in. Everybody can make a dashboard, but cleaning, defining, and collecting data is the most important aspect of data analysis. Because once there is redundancy in your data, you start all over, or you do a work that is not correct. And then people will now make decisions that are not informed, which are not clear. And once there is redundancy in your data, it means you're giving out the wrong information, which will mean that you're causing more harm than good. So that's why I just smile when everybody wants to do dashboards. Everybody wants to wake up and sleep and create a dashboard. You must clean your data, you must collect the right data, and to because there are sometimes you might be cleaning your data, there are missing data, there are errors, so you have to remove them, you have to accurately clean them and handle them very well. There are sometimes we manipulate data, so those are the areas you must know how to, when you're learning, focus on it, because there are times that your data might not be complete, so you have to know how to manipulate it so that you don't get the wrong figures or give statistical analysis that are biased. So then there's a part of analyzing the data and then interpret. In fact, one, two, three, and five is the most important. Your analysis is not even as important as your result, because this is where you get the meaningful insights from your data. If you've done an analysis and you can't give people, I think there was someone's dashboard I saw one time and I just laughed. I was laughing so heavily. Somebody was asking, why are you laughing? I said, because you can't interpret anything from the data. Your data, your dashboard is supposed to give you, once someone sees it, they can immediately interpret what you're saying. Nobody, you don't need the data analyst to interpret that data. A layman should be able to interpret your data by seeing your dashboard alone, by seeing what you've done. So that's the most important part. It's not just to just come and create. I've seen a lot of beautiful dashboards online and I just smile. Because most of them are not even passing any meaningful information. What do I get from this? Right? Then another ability that I'm even learning, if you're someone that wants to go in the field, follow people that are very good with insights. How to write your reports is very important. Once you've done your dashboard, how to write your reports and your findings. Because this is what the stakeholders want to see. This is what your clients want to see. They don't want to see your beautiful dashboard. They want to see the insights, what you've been able to get from your data. Then we look at real life applications in the fashion industry, predicting trends, managing. Like I said when I started, if if I want to sit down today, I'll sit down anywhere and create a problem in that organization, and people will solve it because there is lack of data everywhere. In the fashion industry is used to predict and manage inventory. In fact, data analytics recently is more prevalent in the healthcare sector, right? Because they are using it mostly, especially if Like the outbreak of cholera now, you can easily find, okay, let me use an example. The outbreak of cholera in Nigeria, you can easily just get data from where there is cholera, so you can see the percentage of where is mostly affected. If, for instance, Abuja, you can say, okay, is Gwagwalada more affected? So you can know how to channel maybe healthcare personnel or drugs, or if you want to build a hospital or whatever. So you can channel it towards that particular area. So it's very important that you have a data analyst. One of the sectors you should also look at if you're going into data analytics is healthcare. And there's money in healthcare. People will always be sick, so there's going to forever be need for data. Then social media, environmental sciences like tracking climate change, um, environmental pollution, oil spillage. I used it when I was doing my project in oil spillage, and the security sector and all that, finance and all that. I think the next point is data visualization. This is where I think I was talking about, where you do your bar chart, your Instagram, your pie chart. This is where people focus on, and this is not even the main thing. But it's very important that you have a good visualization, because this is what sells your market. Somebody can just see your visual and know whether you're really good or not, right? So
Yeah.
my advice for dashboards and visualization is that keep it very simple. Use a very clear label and choose the right type of chart. Not every chart is good for every analysis. So it's very important that you know this. Then, how do you get started in data analytics? First of all, learn the basics. The basics, very simple. Excel. The basics in data analytics is Excel. And funny enough, with only Excel alone as a data analyst, you can make as much money as you want.
Wow.
It's amazing, right? So learn the basics. Start, don't go and jump into R and Python. You will get lost. Start with the basics, Excel, Tableau, Power BI. Start with online courses. Like I said, jump on free boot camps and tutorials, free courses first. Before you now go into in-depth, I recently just started my Power BI certification, and it's a BI 13. It's about 650,000 naira in Nigerian currency. In dollars, it's quite much. Do you understand? So before you get to that stage, you'd have known that you've already built a system already. Do you understand? Before you start paying for courses, don't just jump and go and start paying for courses. It doesn't make any sense. Then practice regularly. You come into a community where you people work on projects. Those were one of the things that helped me. I just had to start practicing. There was this 30 days analytics only books was doing then. I jumped on it. We came together as a team, and then we started building, and we got into mentorship, and it really helped me a lot. Then join communities, learn from people. Don't go and form that you know anything. You don't know anything, bro. You're just coming in. Learn, have this eagerness and ability. Me, I learn from anybody. Oh. I learn from anyone. It doesn't matter who. I want to learn from whoever is available. In fact, even my enemy, I learn from my enemy. Yes, because it's going to help my life. Then another thing is find mentors. Find mentors. It's very important that you find mentors. This is very important. This is why I recommended Akisis and Tech for Dev. They have mentorship programs. They do too. So it's important that you find mentors. From this place already, you can see there are people that will mentor you to grow, give you projects. I have people that I mentor, I give them crazy projects. When I have projects, because of my work schedule, I just send it to them. Oga, you deliver that in 2 days. I don't care how you deliver it. But people are going to deliver it. Whether you have to go and do one all night research and be on YouTube and sleep there, but people are going to deliver it. So those are the things that mentorship helps you to do, right? Then how do you overcome challenges? Because there are a lot of challenges in this industry. Oh. There are people that have gone ahead of you that know better. First of all, you have to have confidence in yourself. Believe that you can learn and you can grow. You have to have confidence of what you want in the field. Then have networks, supporting groups like Tower Africa, what people are doing so far. I really appreciate your work so far. Have
Thank you.
where there are women in tech that encourage you, because the journey is not funny. At some point, you might want to give up. So you need people that will support you, people that will encourage you to want to be better. But continuous learning, stay updated with new tools and techniques. So as the industry is growing, new tools are coming. Recently, they just launched Microsoft um uh I'm trying to remember the name, you know. Um I'll remember before this runs out. But it's incorporating both Power BI, Excel, Arrow, and all that together in one system. Microsoft Fabrics, thank you. That's the word I'm trying to look for. So imagine that you're not up to date. How would you know that you can? I think I even jumped on their training, but I wasn't consistent because of my work schedule. So but you need to stay up to date with new techniques, new tools, because they are coming out day by day. So you have to be up to date. They have a work-life balance. Please, this one is my own error. I don't have work-life balance. Maybe that's why I'm always falling sick. I'm always
Oh,
working. If I'm not in the office, even in my house, I'm working. So have a work-life balance. Manage your time and priorities effectively. As much as we are all women, it's expected that we break down at some point. So have a healthy work-life balance. Ensure that you have time for for fun and social activities. I recently told myself that every weekend recently I will be going to the gym, but I must do something useful with my life. So it helps your mental health and makes you balanced. I started becoming very serious in church, because not because I really am so spiritual chemical, but first off, I'm a child of God. But it helps you, you relate with people, you meet people, it makes your thinking love up, you want to, expand, you want to do better. So that's what a
yeah.
work-life balance does for you. Then um my inspiring women in tech is Adora Wodo. She's one of my favorite women in tech. She's doing amazingly with Microsoft, and if you can follow her on LinkedIn, these are people that you should be following, not be following all these celebrities up and down. I don't want to call names, please.
Um,
So
yeah.
follow women that are in your like passions. Follow women that inspire you. Please,
Your
if you want to
field.
follow me, it's not by force, but it is important that you follow women that inspire you. I follow Adora back to back, and recently she resigned from Microsoft. I think I heard so, and she has started her own stuff, and she's doing amazingly. I think she just got a recognition with UN recently. So these are women that you should follow. Follow people that are already in this journey, that would inspire your journey, that you would see, and even if you want to give up, you want to follow them. And then also look at their stories, watch their stories. Most of the tell people that don't just look at people's success stories. I always like to watch their failure stories, because this is where you learn from, not just success. Their failure stories are where the story is. How did they fall? Did they get fired at some point? In fact, she the CEO of was he is it Microsoft, or I can't remember, that got fired how many times before he was able to come up with his own um company. So you need to learn to follow people's stories, their challenges, and then before you now think of their achievements, then learn from their tips and then their recommendations. Then your path forward, how do you go forward? Set goals. I think I've said that. Identify your interests and set clear objectives. Take action. Don't just come for meetings like this. The next thing is jump on the next boot camp, attend workshops, start projects. Stay curious, keep exploring and asking questions, connect with peers, mentors, and network. most of the projects I've worked on has been as a result. In fact, even jobs I've gotten is as a result of my network, right? So you need to be very up to date in the industry. Then resources and opportunities, online courses, website like Coursera. But I have a problem with Coursera. I don't want to talk about it, but there are also good places you can learn. Khan Academy, Code Academy, Tech for Dev, Archisis. These are places you can go and learn. Scholarships, internships, communities, and all that. Then I think, yeah, that's that. So thank you so much for listening. I hope I was able to maximize the time. My floor is now open for questions. Thank you.
All right, audience, send us questions, but even while you do, there is one here. She said, I'm very enthusiastic about tech, especially data analysis. Can I become one of your mentee?
Okay, so it's not free. You pay for it.
Okay, so she's going to reach out to you. Maybe you let us know how she can reach out to you. So
No
it,
problem.
you
That's
can
that's
sign up from her.
that's a joke, but yeah, she can actually reach out to me on LinkedIn at Divine Apemaa. Let me share my link.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can easily jump on it. But I have a problem with mentoring people. Okay, so I'm going to share that problem. So in case you want to join on my mentorship stuff, my problem with mentoring people is that I have a problem. If you're not serious, we are going to have a serious
Mm,
problem
yeah,
because
of course.
I like to work. I like to work. So if you're coming on my mentorship program, just know that you're getting ready to work.
Mm. Okay, so you told us about the boot camps that starters can join. And you've also mentioned some tools like you said Excel, um, Microsoft Excel, and some other tools like that. So I
Yes.
want to ask, there are people that, for example, you did geology and then you eventually found your way into data analysis. But of course, we know that geology, they do a lot of field work and they
Yeah.
have to analyze a lot of data. So how about somebody in other sector like health or maybe business like fashion, catering? Can they find a way of bringing data analytics into what they do?
Yes, of course. I think that was why that was why I said you can easily just create a problem. As long as there's
Oh,
data, as long as there's data,
right, that's true.
there's always going to be a problem. So yes, anybody can join data analytics. Anyone can from any background, but the like I said, what keeps you there is the passion because it's going to get very dirty at some point. So yes, anybody can join. Anybody can join.
Okay, so for someone who is into data analysis, or let's say for a starter, how can you really measure success? Maybe not success per se, but how can you track your progress and then you can know that yes, I'm doing well in this. And yeah,
Okay.
that
For me, the way I track my progress is like what I'm doing now. Amazing, Abby.
yeah,
For anyone to be able to reach out to me without me begging them for anything, it shows that I'm progressing.
yeah, that's true.
So that's one of the ways to track your progress. And then another way to track your progress is how many projects you've been able to work on. So I just shared my LinkedIn profile, so you can just send a message on and say hi.
Yeah. We'll send it to the community, yeah.
Okay. So that's basically how I track my progress. How many projects I work on in a month, how many organizations I've been able to work with part time. Because the truth is, it's not just about to learn. Like I said, it's about to build projects and work.
That's true.
Yes, it's not just to learn. And this is why I actually recently founded my own organization because I don't want to just train people. I want to be able to train people and give them the access to opportunities. So yeah, that's how I track progress. And then as much as that, also my progress also is how many skills I've been able to acquire quarterly. I do my assessments 3 months. So in 3 months, I should have acquired at least one skill or improved on the one I
Skill.
already know. So that's also how to track your progress. And then your community, be able to get constructive criticism and feedbacks. That's why it's important that you have people in your community. Even from my mentees, I take criticisms. I tell them where do you guys think I need to. I think one of them told me the last time that you see backward in your in your Excel, oh, you need to top up. And I was like, are you kidding me? By the time the guy started manipulating things, I was like, oh wow. So these are areas how you keep, yeah.
All right.
Hope
Thank
I'm
you
able
so
to.
much. So okay, our viewers, our audience, we've been talking to Divine Apemaa, and she's been talking to us introduction to data analysis. And one thing, or the few things I've picked from this session in summary, is that you don't really have to have a background in data analysis. There are free websites, free learning platform, free boot camps, even the paid ones if you can afford them for a start, that you can jump into to learn data analysis. But it has to take your passion, your interest, because like she said, you can get tired in the way or on the way. It is your passion and your interest that keeps you moving. You can also reach out to people who are into data analysis. You can follow them on social media. You can network with them. And then networking is even important because it's when you begin to work, your network can begin to tell other people that so and so person is doing this, and they can even criticize your work and show you where you need to do better. All right, Divine, before we finally wrap up, I'd like for you to leave with us your last words, more like a summary, something to leave us with as we wrap up.
Okay. Um, and my last words for everyone here is that I think I'm speaking to women, right?
Yeah, you are. You are.
Okay, so my last word here, and I always say this in any women gathering I find myself, is the fact that we the Bible says, I always use the Bible because that's my guide. The Bible says, let your light so shine before men that they may
Yeah.
see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So wherever you are, in every field you find yourself, in any area you find yourself, always know that you're a light and your light cannot be dim. So as much as you're in the data field, know that you're a light in the data field. And
You'll
my
get it. Shine.
so allow your light shine. Allow it. Don't hold back. Then my other word also is data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. Data is one field that can never you can never run out of jobs. You can never go down. It's not it's not a field that 5, 10 years to come you run out of options. No. So keep your focus, keep your steez. Is this steez or what are they calling it? Keep it high.
Please.
Keep learning, keep showcasing what you're doing. Keep, even if it seems like you're not making progress, keep doing what you're doing. And always know that the stars are just the starting point. You can reach out to the galaxies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, these last words, they are just it for me, and I believe also for everyone that is listening to us. Thank you so much, Divine. We really appreciate you
Thank
being on this, despite the glitch and the rest. And
you.
thank you so much. And we
God
really
bless.
do wish you quick recovery. You mentioned that you were not so. We wish you quick recovery. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you guys so next.
We do as well. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. This is where we'll wrap it up for today. We've been talking to Divine Apemaa, and if you joined us late, I advise you should go back and catch up with the replay of this session. Meanwhile, we would be sharing the slides she left us and the name for the boot camp she mentioned in our community. So you can just go back and check that. Until we'll come your way next Friday for another edition of Tech Klinik, remain focused, remain passionate about what you do, and keep shining the light anywhere you are. Um, you can never go out of light, so keep shining it. Don't be a mediocre, keep improving on all that you are doing, and the sky will not just be your limit, it will be your starting point. Till I come your way next week, I remain your moderator, and my name is Chidima. Bye for now.